My name is Ruth Mbena. I work for the Christian Council of Tanzania in the Department of Women Development, Children and Gender. In this department, our main goal is to make sure all forms of gender-based violence are eliminated. We want women to feel safe. We want women to feel empowered. So what we do training. Most of our activities, we use training, and we use some women activities like women networking. We network with women. We want women to come together and unite and say no to gender-based violence. But also we have children. We use children clubs. We go to the schools and we train children to stand for themselves, to stand firm and just defend themselves to gender-based violence. We also train teachers who are conducting children's clubs. We want also teachers to be sure of the human rights, especially children's rights. They must know the rights of children. But also we have, we call them champions. These are the people that have gone through gender-based violence, and now they are coming up and saying that enough is enough. We don't want to commit gender-based violence. We have a groups of men and women. They call themselves We Are Champions, and this is what the CCT is real happy about. That in every ward, in every district, we have about 5 districts that we work with. We have Serengeti, and we have a Singida District Council, we have Singida Municipal Council, we have Ikungi and Tarime. All these districts, we want people to realize that gender-based violence is harmful and that it has major effects. In Singida, for instance, we are working with women, especially gender-based violence, especially for women who are still forcing their babies or their children to go through female genital mutilation. We still have this problem. In Serengeti, we have adolescents who are going through female genital mutilation. But in Singida, we have babies. And this has been a problem where there is a belief that that is our core value in the society or in the community. It is very hard to change because that's what people believe. And we have been also using some traditional leaders to negotiate with them and to make sure that they understand the concept of gender-based violence, especially female genital mutilation. We have so far about 300 traditional leaders who have now understanding about this concept, and now they are changing, so we are happy about that. But also we have, as I said, women networks. We started women networks to help women understand the concept of genital mutilation or female genital mutilation so that they can defend their children. But also we have we use also sports bonanza. We gather children together so that they can play games, and when people are gathered, they are coming to see our games. That's when we train them on how to stop gender-based violence. We want them to understand this concept and actually stop it. Recently, we were trained to use time travel method. This is a very new method from Church of Sweden, collaborating with Kalmar County Museum. This is an educational method that helps a person to reason that should I continue to embrace these harmful cultures or traditions. We ask you questions. This method asks questions, but also it is a time travel. They travel from where they are or they were in those days up to now. What do they want? Do they want to continue talking about these harmful cultures and initiating them? So we want them to stop, but we cannot stop them until they reason and they change their mindset that they have to change. And so that method has been very, very useful, whereby you bring all people in the community, all different categories, they come together and they speak about the issue that is giving them problems, and then we travel from where the issue came from. We bring it to a scenario, and they have to understand the scenario, and then they discuss, and then they talk about it and see how they can stop it. Another strategy that we are using is solar light strategy. The solar light strategy, we have the solars from our partners. Karim Tanzania is based in the US. They brought us solar lights, and we distribute to those who have real stopped, like the traditional leaders and traditional mutilators like Ngariba. We call them Ngaribas. We have distributed a few solar lights because those people have shown they have shown the sign of stopping, and actually they have stopped. So we want to acknowledge their efforts, and we want to give them like a token to say thank you. Become a light, just as you see this light, now be the light. And we have this story of a traditional leader who stopped this violence, and now he has taken the whole family to church, and that is very, very good for us at the CCT. So we have a number of things that we try to use to make sure people understand. Apart from training, we also conduct some discussions. We come together and we discuss, as I say, that in the women networks especially, where people are alone, they discuss and they open up, and they say this is what others are doing, and they arrest, actually. They go and talk to those people, women who are still embracing these culture, traditions, and some of them are arrested, like in Ngaribas. Recently, last week, we arrested one of the Ngaribas, and she was actually practicing it, and then we persuaded her, and she gave us all the things, and yesterday we were able to take those things from her, and she has stopped. So a person who has stopped, because those days she was doing it because she wanted money. That was the economic development for her. But now we want them to join our IR Vikoba, Interreligious Vikoba, where they can be trained how to generate income instead of generating income from human rights violation. So those are the things that we want our people to understand. We have started the IR Vikoba groups. Interreligious Vikoba groups are very, very good groups, especially when we want to train people. We cannot go to the streets and just say, come and let's listen to us. But we want them to be in a group where we can now begin our education, to educate them. And we have these women who have been oppressed by their husbands, and they joined the Vikoba groups. Today, they are champions. They are building houses. They have built their houses. They have taken their children to school. And there is this one lady from Singida who built a house and called her husband to see what, from that testimony, the husband also joined the Vikoba group. And this is very, very good transformation. We also have camps outside school. These are young people who have united together. They want to fight against gender-based violence. They show some games like composing some drama. We had recently a group of young people who came up with a drama that says that we don't want to marry a woman who is cut. So now you can see even the young people, especially male, they don't want to marry a woman who is cut, because we all know when the woman is cut, you know the effects. So they say we have now understood the effects of gender-based violence, especially female genital mutilation, and we want to fight it. And the way to fight it is to stop marrying those girls. So this is a bittersweet thing, because now our girls who are cut, it means that they may not get married. But that initiative is very good for people to realize that actually female genital mutilation is not a good thing. But also we have Sunday school festivals. We conduct Sunday school festivals every year. And the main goal for Sunday school festivals is for parents to understand about gender-based violence, because when they are with children, they may not understand that they commit gender-based violence. Recently, last year, we had Sunday school festivals, and we had about more than 1,000 children that came together, and their parents also came, and these children had composed some songs and poems, and they started now singing to their parents, and there were a lot of tears. You could see women and men, parents are crying because of what the children were saying. They were saying, please stop hurting us, take us to school instead. And pastors were there, also church leaders, and even leaders of the mosques, imams were there, and they said, no, we must now use the pulpit to talk about gender-based violence. And this is very, very good. Like here you see there's some pictures. Some of the events actually we conduct them in especially Sunday school festivals in churches. Like here, as you can see, this is Central Tanganyika diocese. I was invited to talk to the young people, and as you can see, there were so many people here, young people, especially children, Sunday school children, and they are sitting down. We didn't have chairs, but they were very eager to know what is going to happen. As I started talking to them, there were about 800. Here, you can see I'm talking to them, and they were so happy. They were singing, but listening to the word of God, and actually many of them came to the Lord, and they are still children, but they came to the Lord. Here is their coordinator. She was emphasizing of what I had just said, and you can see here they are dancing with me. They are dancing with me. So when I go with to the children, I become also a child, as you can see. And also we are using campaigns, women campaigns. And last year we had a very nice campaign. This was a conference, but in the conference we started campaigning. We wanted all people in that city to know that gender-based violence is harmful. And we came up with a theme from the Bible, from Isaiah 58, verse 1, that says, shout to those people who are doing wrong things. And we had women, about 400 women that came from different regions of Tanzania, and we sat down, we started talking about gender-based violence, we started sharing of what is happening there, and testimonies, and we after the training, we went to the streets. The last day, we went to the streets, and we wanted to show people that we don't want gender-based violence to continue in Tanzania. So we had our leaflets, and we were just walking around and showing the leaflets that say, Tanzania without gender-based violence, it is possible. And also what we did in that conference, we launched a book. That was a book, as you can see here. We wanted them to receive that book. This book was written in English, and last year we translated it in Kiswahili. We wanted every church to have this book so that they can talk about gender-based violence, but according to their culture, or in terms of the Bible. What does the Bible say about gender-based violence? You know, based on the Tamar story. The story of Tamar is a very nice story that teaches people how to behave when they are violated, or they have gone through gender-based violence. So in the conference, another thing that we did was to launch a Baba Bora campaign, and I'm happy about that, because Baba Bora campaign is Okay, the translation is better father. Why better father? Because fathers sometimes forget themselves. They may even lay the responsibility to the mothers, and children growing with a single parent, I would say, because not both parents. The father is always running up and down, looking for this and that, but the mother is the one who taking care of children. And this is very, very harmful to the society, where a mother is taking care of her children without the father, because those children, that's why we have different kinds of behaviors. That's why we have children that are running up to the streets, and we cannot, for women, we can just take care of children up to a certain level. But when they are grown up, let the fathers know that actually they need to become the light. They need to know their responsibility in the family. So we launched that Baba Bora campaign, and we had some candles, and we lit the candles, and fathers were holding the candles, saying that we want to also be the light of Tanzania. And that was very, very exciting. Those are the campaigns that I'm talking about.